Well, when we tell you the UN is gathering in Dubai today for an 11-day conference, you might think, what does this have to do with me? Well, it turns out a lot. This meeting could bring big changes to the way you use the internet. And some of those changes, those potential changes, are raising some concerns about censorship and security. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge has more on this from Washington. Catherine?
Well, thank you, Jen, and good morning. The ITU, or International Telecommunications Union, is a body within the UN that was set up to regulate communications more than a century ago. And the conference that begins today is reviewing these rules established long before the internet became a primary mode of communications. And critics say these changes made by the UN body could impact everyday communications.
This could affect actually every cell phone, tablet, and personal computer in the world, because pretty much every chip and all those types of consumer devices have an IP address associated with them, and therefore there are proposals at the ITU that there be a registry for each of those computer chips.
The U.S. position has been no expansion of the ITU or the United Nations jurisdiction over the internet, period. The U.S. is in support of web neutrality, but the conference in Dubai raises the specter of nations including Iran, China, Russia, and others agreeing to live under these UN rules, what critics call restrictions. And while the UN maintains... And while the UN maintains this is not about controlling the web, critics say it is part of a steady drip of regulation that will chip away at internet freedom.
Even if internet freedom escapes this conference in Dubai, this is just a stepping stone by countries like China and Russia and some in the Arab states. They've been very patient and persistent over the past 10 years, and I think for the next several years going forward, they will continue to be persistent.
The U.S. has a sizable delegation in Dubai, about 160 people, and their position in simple terms is that they want internet regulation off the table, and they want the UN body to stick to networks that are already regulated, so the telecommunications networks, phone networks, but to just leave the internet neutral, if that's at all possible, Jenna.
We'll see what comes out of this conference. Catherine, thank you.